Hi guys, yeah, we have something here to talk which we have already talked about several times. This Himel VFD, yeah, it's a small one actually. The fan is very small, 0.75 kilowatt smoke fan, and we want to get 2 speeds from this VFD. So how do we go about it? So I've already programmed by low speed as 25 hertz and the high speed at 45 hertz. So in case I select auto, I expect if I to ramp up to 25 hertz. Yes. And if I select high speed, it will ramp up to 45. That's what we have done my setting. It will run up to 45 hertz. Okay, my maximum speed, it can go up to 50, but we have set 45 hertz. So we have also the connections. We shall discuss the connections and the parameters so that we can have a clear picture of how we have come about with the 2 speeds. So we have a paper here which you can focus on. This is what I have done my summary of all the program that I have done and the connections, but I will explain briefly what I've already done. So yeah, just switch off. So there is the parameters and the digital input connections. What I've done with the connections. So we know how to navigate this VFD. So in case you just meet this VFD for the first time, yeah, maybe you cannot just operate from the door. You can run here and step from here. But in this case, we want to program in such a way that you can do it through the terminals, from the selector switch to the relays, then to the terminals here. So the first parameters that you're supposed to change, some already are in default, so you have to go to parameter f1.01. f1.01, yeah, I set it at 1, and I think according to our book here, I think that is the case. If I'm not wrong, it's already, that's maybe the company default already. So yeah, just bear with me a little as I open my book here. So according to my book here, the factory default, it was 0. So you could only you could not operate from the panel, the keypads here. So I set it to 1. On the same case, f1.02, I set 1. So we want to attain one of the speeds. So one of the speed, if you want to attain one of the speed, this one f1.03 already is set at default, factory default, which is already 1, and the terminal connection is between ground here. So the connections here is between, you can see my P1 there is between ground and digital input 1, DI1. Ground, which I have denoted by PN. I wish I had a G, I could have denoted by GN, but I have denoted by PN. So it is between that one, through the serial number 1. So GN, P1, between that one. If there is a connection between ground and digital input 1. That's the frequency X here. Then I can do my preset speed. I can set the preset speed of digital input 1 at f1.07. So f1.07 is where I have set my lower speed, which is 25 hertz. You can see, yeah. So I exit, and that's where I can adjust for the lower speed. The second speed, how to make sure that f6.01, which at default is 0.2, is set at 32. The reason why is because in this case I'm taking between ground, digital input 1, and digital input 2. So my second relay, ground here, then there's digital input 1 and digital input 2. Both of them are connected from the ground, digital input 1, and down there is digital input 2. So ground, digital input 1 and digital input 2, I'll get my second speed. But we know the digital input 2, the default at f6.01 is 2, because it's a reverse. Actually digital input 2 is a reverse, but now we want to use it as for the frequency Y, so that one I go and set 32. F1.03 is already at a factory default, which is 1, and the terminal connections are here. Then our preset speed for the frequency Y, I'll go at f1.05, and I will adjust the speed there. That's where I can set my speed. Yeah, in this case I've used it as the high speed. Yeah, so we can see from this is the program where you have to go and adjust your speed. f6.01, you have to make sure you set at 32. f1.03 is already a factory default, and the connections between ground, digital input 1, and the ground, and this 2 and ground plus digital input 1 and digital input 2. So in case maybe you want to run from analog input 0 to 10 volts, what do you do? Same, f6.01 should remain at 32, but f1.03 you should set at 4. Let me show you here from the book. Yeah, this one we set at 4, and that one you can see at 4 is analog input 1, 0 to 10 voltage DC. Yeah, so I set there 4, but my connections is similar to this other option. Is similar. Is between ground, digital input 1 and digital input 2, but now here is where our voltage will be. Ground will be negative, analog input 1 will be the positive, 0 to 10 volts. Yeah, and our speed will run. Now because I don't have a battery with me, I can demonstrate. I'll demonstrate. I'll just go and change f1 point. As you can see now, relay number 2 is between ground, digital input 1 and digital input 2. It's running up to 45 volts. And if I switch off, yeah, okay, that's not, yeah, and you can see it's running up to 45 hertz. Ground, digital input 1 and digital input 2 is running up to 45 volts. But now I don't want to run the preset speed. I want the analog input 0 to 10 volts. So I will go f1.03 I set for. Yeah. So at 1.03 I set for, yeah, and I exit. Now if I try to run my VFD, you see the relay number 2 is energized, but it is remaining 0. Why? Because now I have to give it 0 to 10 volts, but down here I have my source of 10 volts. You can see it is indicated 10 volts plus, it is plus. Yeah, this one I can just loop that cable to AI1, analog input 1, and my VFD will run. So it will run up to 50 hertz because it's already 10 volts, the maximum. You can see it's ramping up to 50 hertz. Yeah, if I remove my cable, it will ramp down because I have removed the 10 volts, which is the internal volts. What I'm just doing, I'm just looping the internal volts from that point to analog input 1. So yeah, so I have to take it back. So I have to take it back to my initial program at default f.13, default f.13, yeah. So what was my initial default is 1. So at high speed it will run up to 45 hertz. Yeah. On the other hand, we want to connect our CO sensor here and our fire alarm cable there, so that when the carbon dioxide is a little bit high, the fan will run at 25 hertz, and when it's so high, it will run at our maximum, which I have set at 45 hertz. So in this case, I'm selecting from the door through hand, low speed up to 25 and high speed up to. So what I'll just do, I select auto, and I can comfortably run from the terminals here. 3 and 4 is for the low speed. Yeah, it will go up to Israel number 1. It will go up to 25. On the other hand, 5 and 6 is for the high speed, which is for the fire alarm. Yeah, you can see it's running up to 45. So that's enough for today. Actually, I've tried to explain as much as I can. That's the best I can. Yeah, but I hope you got something. Okay, see you guys. Thank you.